Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Maya with Simply Bloom. So I'm in my bathroom next to no, that's a lie. I have two south-facing windows and they're both super duper tiny in my house. So I'm standing in front of one of them because on the windowsill here is part of today's project. I'm trying to stand so the sun's not streaming through and causing weird lighting, but we have a few plants. We have two Sansevieria snake tongues. Is that what they're called? Now I'm drawing a blank. We have two of those. And this one has a little baby peeking through, and I might separate those and put it into a different pot of its own. And then I have a jade, which my son, when he was 1 year old, he climbed up to. She has this my mom has a massive jade, and my son climbed up to that jade and broke off this itty bitty branch. I was like this high. I took it home, rooted it in, and now it is thriving, loving life. So I'm going to repot that up because I feel like it just needs a bigger pot. And then this lovely plant here, that came from my brother-in-law who lives in Arizona. He mailed us some oranges a year ago, and he also, with those oranges, included just a couple of these cuttings. Now, he said that it is a Medusa cactus. I'm not 100% sure if that's accurate. There might be several different types of varieties of the Medusa. When I Google it, I see things look similar, but I can't find the actual thing that I have. So if you know what this is, please let me know in the comments below. But my husband went out there and visited him a year ago, and he loved it so much. My brother-in-law has this massive container with just, it looks incredible, and it gets these really pretty like burgundy red flowers on it. I don't think there's any blooms right now, but I thought we would be transplanting that as well. Not transplanting it, but like repotting it into a bigger size pot. And then I'll probably, as I do that, take more cuttings and then like reroot them into the pot so it's just fuller and looks better. So that's the plan for today. And then also last year, I don't know if you've been following me for that long, but I wintered over a Mandevilla last winter. And I repotted it up. It thrived during the summertime, looks great. Brought it back into winter over again. It's struggling. It's not doing well. I read that when you go winter over at Mandevilla, you're supposed to like chop back the foliage, and therefore it's just less energy and stress on it to try to winter all that over. It's lost almost all of its leaves. So we are going to just kind of prune it back. It's pushing new growth. It is, especially as the days are getting longer and more sunshine. I can see it's waking up. It's pushing growth. So I thought we would pick up all the dead leaves that are around it and just prune it up a little bit. So let's get started. Okay, so these are the two pots that I got. I got them from TJ Maxx and I absolutely loved them. I was looking for two of the white ones. I couldn't find the two sizes that I needed, so I got one white one and one green one, and they were both very affordable, under $20, which I feel like is a steal of a deal. And I am using this cactus and citrus potting mix, but before I add that in, I almost added it in, I realized just how big the drainage hole was. So I grabbed some paper towel. You can use anything that will let water through still, so paper towel, tissue, any old rags. I just put that over top of the drainage hole, and then I am adding a little bit of my soil. Now, I didn't realize how difficult this would be until I actually picked the pot up to look at it, and I was so nervous because you can see everything's just bouncing and wiggling around, and this was a very stressful process. But I just carefully tipped the cactus over and wiggled the pot free. Now luckily the pot escaped pretty quickly, and it was such a relief once I got that off, and I was impressed by the roots. Look at those roots. It was rooted in way more than I thought it would be. So then I just carefully set it into the pot and luckily the soil level was perfect. Now a couple pieces fell off, which is fine because I was planning on taking cuttings anyways. And then I'm just going to carefully, this is the hardest part I have to say, and it was so time consuming. It doesn't look like it, but it took a good I think it was about 5 minutes to stuff in the soil. And then you can see I'm pointing to this joint, I guess you could call it. So a few of the pieces fell off right at that joint, which worked out perfectly. And it left very little cut area, I guess you could say. So all these pieces fell off. Now, normally when I take cuttings, I'd want to let them callus over for a little bit, but being that they all fell off from that joint area, there was very little open wound, I guess you could call it. So I just decided to pop them in right away without letting them callus over. And I have a little helper that is helping me water them in. And here it is. I think it looks so good. And this new pot definitely looks a lot better than the old one. So I'm just moving it aside, moving on to the next one. Same thing. It was a big drainage hole. So we're adding a little bit of tissue, some more soil. And then we are transferring over the jade. Now this one was not rooted in as much as the cactus was, but definitely looks better in the bigger pot. And then I actually ran out of cactus mix, so I'm actually mixing a little bit of potting soil with the little bit of cactus mix that I had left. And my helper is just packing in that soil in and around the root ball. And then giving it a good drink of water to really help settle that soil. Next, moving on to my Mandevilla, you can see it's a mess. Ignore the toys behind me. That's where my kids play also. So I'm just beginning to remove all the dead branches that don't have any new growth on it. I probably could have cut it back way more than I did, but I decided to just cut back to where I saw new growth forming. And then I threw away the branches, tried to vacuum up the leaves, and I just ended up jamming and plugging up my vacuum, so I knew that wouldn't work. And I missed the first part, but I actually found that using a broom to sweep up the leaves on the carpet was way easier. So I swept up all the big pieces that I could, and then I switched back to the vacuum. And my 7-month-old dog is protecting me from the vacuum, and he does have an ear infection, thus the cone. So I just place these in front of my east-facing window, as they will no longer fit on my window ledge in the bathroom, and I love it. Okay, you guys, all done. So I ended up running out of cactus soil. So I ended up not being able to transplant that Sansevieria, and I used normal potting soil and for around the jade. Now, most of the soil is a cactus mix around the jade, but I did top it off with a little bit of potting soil, which I think it will be fine. My mom mainly only uses normal potting soil, so I think it'll be fine. I'm sad they do not fit back on the south-facing window because they just loved that spot. So I put them in an east window, and I'm gonna see if maybe my husband can build like a bigger shelf out here so I can fit them back in the south-facing window. But I did move my geraniums here. Look how pretty they are. So there's 2 there. Those 2 aren't blooming yet, but they will be hopefully soon. Yeah, so that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.